Yeah, what's up,
All
bro?
right. Hey, what's happening, Reggie? How come I don't have
Oh
your face
man.
on the screen?
All right. Chilling, chilling. Oh, you got it playing. You got to close out your YouTube. That YouTube you got open or muted because it's giving the playback on the live.
I have a YouTube open. I don't have no YouTube open.
Go into your tabs. Go into your tabs up there. It got to be a YouTube open.
Okay, I got a
Yeah.
StreamYard login search, and I've got StreamYard.
Check the tab somewhere on your computer. Somewhere it's playing twice.
Uh,
Mm,
what? Okay. Uh,
Keys. Oh, I think it cleared. I don't hear it anymore.
I don't. Okay, yeah. I just put you on the solo layout. I still don't see you. I just see your.
Oh man, you are right. That was
I just see.
mine. That was mine doing that. Oh, we good now. That was mine. I'm the one that had the YouTube open. You still there?
Oh, all right. Well, I just see your logo. I don't see you.
Oh, because you clicked on the thing that moved the photos. So push it again. Push the you can see where it allow you to change the camera screens. You end up pushing mine to the front. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is all I got is your logo. Are you not on like the video?
Oh yeah, my camera was off.
There you are.
All right,
All
now we good.
right. All right. So I'm gonna put you. Oh no. Okay, that should be it right there, right?
Yep, we good now.
All right. All right. So first and foremost, do we have any viewers out there, or it's just you and me right now?
No, it's just us right now. They'll send out the as we go. YouTube should start sending out the algorithm to people, and as people are surfing through it, they'll pick up on it. And I'll go out and share it as well.
Okay. All right.
Oh, matter of fact, it's two people on there,
Ain't
and
gonna,
you should be able to see it on your end. Like it should show on your end. It should show the count. It should show a count up there towards where it shows you live. How many people are there? I see 3 people.
oh, okay. I figured that you and me was the two people. How do I
No,
bring
no, I
up
won't count us.
comments?
Click over there on comments. You should see them. Go to
How do I
comments
bring up?
and then click on it. You see comments over to the right where banner and all that stuff was.
Yeah.
Look above that. You should see something say comments. Oh, you pushed the wrong button. You still there? All right, what's up, man? I see my brother boxing MMA. Salute, bro. Wait for Tex to get back on. Then we'll see what the topic's gonna be. Straw man and how the courts use it to steal your wealth. So we'll talk about that. Or Tex will go into that. Hey Drake, you still there? Oh, let me call him back. Salute. Give us a second, folks.
Hey, I'm back.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Yeah.
All right,
No,
shit.
I hit comments and it sent me out of the studio. I don't know what to do. All right. So first of all, I want to go into some court stuff because the Department of Justice spelled JUST stop US full stop just us is is what the government is using to transfer wealth from yourself to it. I'm sorry, my dog is aggravating. And so everybody needs to understand what the bar guild is, okay? The bar association. All right. So if you go to any attorney and you ask them, hey, are you a member of the bar association? And they'll say, well, yes. Then you ask them, excuse me, the British Accredited Regency, and they'll say, no, I'm a member of the Texas Bar Guild or the Texas Bar Association or the California Bar Association or whatever. Those are simply DBAs of the British Accredited Regency. All right. Hey, what's going on, Andrew? So by virtue of this, now, all court cases, it doesn't matter what it is, are considered private bar guild matters unless otherwise challenged. All right. So if it's considered a private bar guild matter, basically you've got these two cats, we'll say counsel and opposing counsel, all right, who are agents of the court, okay, agents, Black's Law Dictionary, number 4, agents are actors, okay? So a court case is nothing but a play or, a theatrical type illusion to which it's already been played out. Everybody knows their role. Everybody knows how it's going to end. The only thing missing is the man. All right. So the man gets thrown in there, and he's the individual who has the money. All right. So basically, the man is going to be both the audience as well as the antagonist. Okay. That's why you get charged with something. Okay. You get charged with something, and now it's incumbent upon you to pay that charge. Charge doesn't mean that, you're being that
Convicted or something.
some type of county police department or some type of benign type agency or whatever, some type of benevolent agency has caught you doing something dastardly, and so they're going to do this on behalf of civilization at large to have you brought to justice for your crimes. No, that's why they're going to say that you've got to pay for your crimes. All right, whether it be by generating interest when they have your corpus or your body being held in timeout in a cell, or whether you pay that out in U.S. Reserve debt notes. So when it's all considered a private bar guild matter, you have no say in anything. It doesn't matter. You just you respond to a summons. Now remember, you can't summon the living. You can only summon the dead. All right. So you're showing up to a doggone satanic seance. All right, where the end play has already been decided. Okay, which is you have to pay a fine, pay a fee, pay a tax, or your body is going to be held, your corpus is going to be held while it draws interest from a cestui account and funnels that into the coffers or CAFR account of whatever governing body, municipality, county, state, federal, or whatever penitentiary that you're sitting in. again, the CAFR is something that nobody ever talks about, and that we could do a whole show on the CAFR account. But I'm gonna jump into that just a little bit though, because Reggie, I want you to see what your beloved Los Angeles County was doing back in 2007. I just so
let
happen
me
to
hear
have those
about it.
numbers. All
Yeah,
right.
because we got some other issue
So,
coming up out of LA. Well, we got the whole little racial issue coming out of city council. But now I want to hear what you got to say about 2007.
all right. So, let's see here. So the CAFR account is the comprehensive annual and financial report. All right. First, let's talk about that just briefly. The comprehensive annual financial report is something that only government corporations are file. Okay. The comprehensive annual financial report shows all the money that's in the coffer, or CAFR, as the acronym states. Okay. So the budget is the only thing you ever hear about, right? So, just say LA County, for example, says there's no money in the budget for dog catchers. And that's what comes out on the news, right? Or that comes out in the newspaper. Well, that's just used to appease people that have lost dogs. All right. There's no money in the budget. The inside the CAFR account, we'll just say they got a million gazillion fucking dollars. All right. And they're going to say there's no money in the budget for uh dog catchers. But they're going to say, hey, look, we have budgeted $1 million for putting up light posts or something. Okay. So we got $1 million in the budget for light posts. So we're gonna go on ahead and get that started. So they start putting up light posts. Now light posts endeavor gets completed, and they say, "Oh well, we ran over budget. $2 million is what it costs to put in the light posts. So now we need to raise taxes in order to cover the light posts. Now bullshit, because the light posts already been paid for, right? $2 million done been paid for out of the CAFR account. All right. And the CAFR account is the comprehensive annual financial report. All of this is secret. Okay. They're not going to tell this to nobody. The only thing that the damn freaking bullshit ass media is going to say is whatever government tells them to say. Oh, we budgeted for this and we budgeted for that, and this ain't in the budget, and this ran over budget. Bullfucking shit. Now, look, I'm going to show you a picture right here. I don't know if you can see that. There it goes.
Move it up closer. What is that? See, 2007, 2012 or something? Move it closer to the camera.
Yeah. Okay. So in 2007, the Los Angeles County annual budget was 17.5 billion. 2012, it was 25.8 billion. Now they raised taxes, but not that much, and they fined individuals for bullshit like, oh, I don't know, running a stop sign, jaywalking, freaking peeing in the parking lot. I don't give a fuck, littering, right? But it wasn't $8 billion worth of fucking fines and raising taxes and shit. Where'd that come from? It was all in the CAFR account already. They already had those Federal Reserve debt notes in the account already, because people have been being fined and taken advantage of and freaking being stolen from taxes and so on and so forth into the CAFR account. And even with doggone freaking, political corruption and graft and so on and so forth. Even with all that, and people paying themselves out of public funds, the stack of money they have in the CAFR account is basically limitless. Not only that, but like I've said before, the straw man, all right, who has the Cestui Que Trust that was created based upon the birth certificate, all right, every time he signs something, he contracts with whatever government, state government, local government, whatever. The way that you contract with the United States Corporation or the federal government is by obtaining a voter registration card. That's right. You signed a voter registration card, you've just contracted with the federal government. Fuck that. You contract with your state and local governments by virtue of signing for a library card, signing for your driver's license, anything, okay, which takes you from being a creditor, a live man, to being nothing more than a bullshit ass corporation whose only reason for existence is to funnel wealth from the private sector to the public sector, which wealth is, I'm just using that for lack of better terminology, funnel more debt to the public sector so that they can continue to operate. It sounds absurd. It doesn't seem like it could possibly work, but that's how it works. A Federal Reserve note, as I stated before, $1 is $1 worth of debt. The only reason it exists is backed by the faith and trust of the American people. The trust not meaning that we trust that freaking there's some kind of gold somewhere in Fort Knox, Kentucky, backing this money, because we all know that's freaking ridiculous and it fucking no bullshit. All right, it's our trust, our Cestui Que trust, that were created based upon our birth certificate. Dr. Pepper comes from Texas.
Going to the breakdown of how that money from your social and all that is tied to you.
Okay, so you've got an account number. Okay, that's your social security number for the 9-digit social security number, right? Or 8-digit, 6, 4, 10-digit social security number. Okay, look, if you have breaks in there, if you put the dashes in there, now we could go into a lesson on English styles, okay, which is when contracts are written, English styles can be utilized to change the contract in a sneaky fucking way, okay? English styles is marks and various different things, squiggles or whatever that you put on a contract that changes the contract. And if somebody isn't versed in English styles, well, fuck them. If they sign it, then they agree to it. All law is contract law. So, I got off on a tangent. What was the question again, Reggie?
No, about the money being attached to the social, because I heard people speak about that before. Like I say, I'm not big into this type of stuff, but always enjoy hearing conversations on various topics. But about the attachment of your social security or birth certificate being attached to an account for you.
All right, so your social security number with the dashes in there, those aren't dashes, those are bars. Okay, which okay, just like the bar association, when you go into court and you pass the bar, all of that is verbiage and terminology used to hoodwink people because they don't know what they're talking about. I don't know everything about everything. I continually do research so that I could be more well versed when I go into court, when I run up against the county or the municipality or whatever. So the Social Security number without dashes is your EIN, and it annotates a closed account. That means an account that cannot be accessed from outside. You got the dashes in there. You put the bars in there. You've allowed any time that you are charged with something, or you have to go to court, that you're summoned or whatever, you put the bars in there. You have agreed that this is a private bar guild matter. All right. That's what the dashes are, your Social Security number, and it also annotates an open account. If it's a private bar guild matter and it's an open account, well, they got free reign to run amok and just doggone freaking take whatever they want out of it. Your sweat equity is what's going to continue to replenish that.
And can a person, how would a person pull this money from this account to use, or can you?
Okay, so you can, but it can only be used for the things that you need. Now there's ways, and I'm researching this right now, to move that money from said public account to the private side. All right. Now, but as for right now, UCC1 filings, you filed a UCC1, which basically it's a declaration of you being a separate live entity from the straw man, and that you are beneficiary of that trust. Okay, so with that being said, now you could utilize the 1099-C to discharge debt. Okay, because in 1933, with House Joint Resolution 192, that's what allowed the government to start to steal everybody's gold. So, oh well, now it's the law. You got to turn in all your gold bars, your gold bullion, your great granny's freaking wedding ring. You better turn all that shit in because you can't have gold no more. We're gonna give you these Federal Reserve notes. Now that was already a deal. All right, Federal Reserve notes been in circulation since 1913, right? But in 1933, not everybody was having it. All right, there was still people that was hoarding gold. They used their little Federal Reserve notes for whatever little bullshit, buying some a stick of butter, a loaf of bread, and a liter, a pint of milk over the damn grocery store. But they were still purchasing land, and that was belonging to them, unable to be taxed because they were buying it with silver and gold. I mean, that's in every state constitution, along with the Constitution of the United States of America. Okay, land can only be purchased by virtue of either silver or gold. Okay, that's when you obtain a lloydal title, right? A lloydal title goes all the way back to the original land grant, either from England or Spain. I'm in Texas, so it would go back to the Spanish land grant or the Mexican land grants, right? And so if I pay a mortgage off, right, and then so that by virtue of paying off that mortgage, the straw man has the ability to utilize this land, even though it's on a 99-year lease, right? But by virtue of warranty deed, okay, the straw man owns this piece of property. All right. But if I, as a live man upon the land, go and purchase by virtue of a $20 gold coin that I went and picked up over at freaking Ascot's Jewelers there in San Antonio, say, here's a $20 gold piece, straw man. Will you accept this for this property? And the straw man turns around and he says, Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I would. And so then the straw man has transferred warranty deed. Would you take that warranty deed down to the county recorder's office and you take the bill of sale stating that this piece of property was sold by the straw man? Okay, the corporate account that was created by virtue of the birth certificate was sold by that entity to this entity, Drake Gafford, beneficiary of said straw man account, for a $20 gold coin, and you apply for a lordal title, and then you do the research and you, okay, well, this is, parcel 18 from Spanish land grant, whatever. Okay. You go back through the land grant process. Okay. And then you record that not only in the county recorder's office, but then you put it up in a publication, i.e. the newspaper. Doggone, I spent $10 to doggone in the help wanted ads to say, hey, guess what? I own this piece of property. Fuck off. And then of course you purchase the straw, or I'm sorry, the live man will purchase back the gold coin, the $20 gold coin, because I don't want to be considered a pauper, and the corporate entity can't have gold, right? Because that's the law. So I purchased that back for $20 to the corporate entity. The corporate entity can have Federal Reserve notes, a $20 Federal Reserve note, which is accepted by virtue of conditional acceptance and another bill of sale. And then I've got my gold back so that I can't be considered a pauper. I carry that in my pockets, because now you can be arrested at any given time and throw it in the clink if a police officer, which by the way is only a policy enforcer, decides and declares that you're a pauper. So, oh wait, and what does a pauper mean? Pauper means that you have no money. Well, even if I had $25 million Federal Reserve notes in my pocket, but not a single freaking doggone gram of gold on me, I'm a pauper, because I have no actual, nothing that can satisfy debt. Hey, Jeff, what's happening? And so, if you don't have anything that will suffice to settle debt, Federal Reserve debt notes are not considered of any monetary value to settle debt. You could be considered a pauper. In other words, going into a doggone filling station to go use Federal Reserve notes to buy a Dr. Pepper and a few gallons of gas, it can also be considered vagrancy, because you have no money and you're hanging around.
No, good shit. Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Anyway, so
that's what I want to ask you, man. If you can explain,
how.
I want to ask you if you can explain why before you continue on about straw man. What is a straw man for people just tuning in?
Okay, the straw man is a trust that was set up in your name, and it has your name, kind of. Okay, so you'll notice that on all documents from the government, whether it be a court summons, whether it be your driver's license, which you don't need anyways, anything from the federal government, also on your freaking checks from your checking account, all of that is spelled in all caps, all capital letters. All right. What else is all capital letters? Always, also every corporation. Okay, so you're considered a corporation. I don't know. I think we've been over this a lot of times, but your name and all of its derivatives. So it might be Drake Allen Gafford or Drake Gafford or Drake A Gafford or Gafford, comma Drake A. Okay, all that shit is, as a matter of fact, all of that could be put onto all of the court papers. Okay, so each time it's spelled a little different, and they might say, "Oh, well, this is an alias." So whether it be Reggie Owens or I don't know what your middle name is, we'll just say Reggie L. Owens or Reggie Leonard Owens or Reginald Owens, or and on and on and on. Okay, to name all of your aliases according to the freaking government. All right. Each one of those sets up a new trust. All right. And a new trust, that's another trust to be accessed. That's another freaking charge. Hey, what's happening, champ? Reggie, I lost you. Did I do something there? Anyways, okay, so you came in a little late explaining the Social Security number. Okay, the Social Security number.
All right, there we go.
The Social Security number. Oh, all right, you're back. The Social Security number, if it's used without any dashes in it, okay, if you use that number without any dashes, that creates the dichotomy where you are the beneficiary of a closed account. Okay, if it's used with dashes in it, okay, those dashes are bars. Bars. Now we're talking about English styles, which English styles is marks and various squiggles and little graffiti that you put on contracts to change the contracts without stating that you're changing the contract. And if somebody, it's buyer beware, where whoever on the other side of the contract, if they don't know English styles and they go on ahead and add signature to that contract stands, and whatever it is you've changed about the contract also stands. So the bars in there, or the hyphens within your Social Security number, that annotates an open account. Okay, and the bars in there is or the dashes. We're going to consider those bars acquiesce to allow that anytime there's a charge brought against you, anytime that you end up in court, you are acquiescing and stating this. There's bars in your Social Security number that, yes, this is a private bar guild matter. You really don't fucking make a fuck. You're just there to freaking give money to somebody. Don't even really know why you showed up. Just, but since you're here, pay us some loot.
What happened?
Sir?
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. No, I thought you were saying something.
No, I was. Hey, y'all, Reggie over there listening to Chris Webby.
No, hell no. No, I played. No, I played the feedback. I play the feedback in my ear to make sure it's coming through clear.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. I always do that because when we on live, if I can't, because I can't play it from the computer, I always use this to hear it.
Oh, okay. I got you. So what else? Hey, so tell me what the deal is over in LA. You was talking about there was something about LA.
Well, what they got going on is that they have these three. It's three people involved in the LA City Council. One of them from one of the labor unions out there. So these people are having this is a meeting from last year that gets leaked. So they're having little secret meeting or kind of a behind the scenes meeting between three of the Latino council members and then one of the labor people. So in this meeting, they're making some racially charged comments. One about a adoptive kid of another LA City council member, and making comments about him, making comments about the indigenous people, comments about Asians, and also while they're doing this, this is a meeting that they're having about redistricting of the areas out there. And a lot of what plays in the LA politics is a lot of racially, a lot of racial agendas behind a lot of stuff. People try to gain control, capture certain areas of Los Angeles, and then the investment that goes out there. Anytime you look at a lot of these, because LA's been going through some major projects, especially through some of the most densely black populated areas. You got the dang Rams Stadium that's in Inglewood, going through those areas. You got the new Clipper Arena. You got some, I think it's like a outdoor, like maybe a soccer arena or something out there. There's a lot of major projects going on out there. But anytime you see an investment, then you have
the Chargers are out of LA, right?
Yeah, they play there as well with the Rams. It's a lot of shit going on out there. Multi-billion-dollar investment. You probably didn't had over you probably didn't had over $50 billion. Say that again.
$50 billion. $50 billion.
No, probably upwards of 50 billion plus, because you have the LAX projects going on to expand that. Our transportation, like the light rail transportation like expansions going on through Crenshaw area, going into the airport, all these major projects. But every time you look up, the missing piece going into these job opportunities is a lack of blacks on these projects. You see them filled with Latinos and whites. And so that becomes a major issue. And then when you have council people who are making statements like that, you begin to see what you see as far as this money that's injected into the city, how it's distributed and who's left out. So that becomes a major fight. And then when you got, because LA has some of the most powerful city council people in this country, and they're well paid. These are high paying damn jobs. So when this video leaked, you have had a lot of people in the community of all races stand up to get them the fuck out of there. The one lady who was mainly doing a lot of the talking and shit, they got her up. They forced her to resign, so she done removed herself. The other two dudes are putting up a fight, but they got people out there protesting, camping out in front of their homes to kind of force their move. But their powers have been snatched away from them. They're sitting on none of the LA committees, none of that. But this is something that's going on in LA even before these people make these statements. This is the first time it's ever been captured and placed out into the public of what goes on. So it just shows the deep levels of what can you call it? Institutionalized racism imposed upon specific groups of people out there. And the city was so much, but now when you go back into LA and you look at some of the other dynamics. So here is this is probably the richest city in this damn country. And when you look at what you see across the Los Angeles streets, and I want to do a video on homelessness out there, because everywhere you look, it don't matter where homelessness have gotten so bad out there, and plus because the cost of living has just shot above like some crazy levels that nobody can sustain it. You have to have 3 wives and shit, and everyone in the house has to work just to be able to make it out there. But there's homeless all scattered throughout that whole city. I don't care. You can go into Beverly Hills, you're going to see homeless. You go out into the rich Hollywood areas, you're going to definitely see a lot of homeless. You go down the freeways, you're going to see homelessness. You go down your block, you're going to see it. So what you begin to see is the way in which the city is governed, and it's major issues with the type of people that are going into it. Okay, a lot of what you're seeing. Well, let me say this: a lot of what you're seeing out there is the racial dynamics at play politically in this city. But with them, it's to force them out of there. But where you don't see where everything with LA is about the disbursement of the money that goes there. So now you open the door to where you see where people are holding shit back, and they'll smile in your face in public, but behind the scenes are saying other shit.
Okay, so first of all, that's just the politicians. Second of all, I'm going to go all the way back to the 14th Amendment. All right? It states that all men are created equal, right? Men, man. A man has a definition by virtue of Black's Law Dictionary. A man is natural. That is a natural individual. You can look this up in a doggone Black's Law Dictionary. Don't take my fucking word for it at all. A man, natural, may also mean a woman or a child. Okay. When we're speaking of man, we're speaking of mankind. All right. All men are created equal. Let me tell you something. The 14th Amendment did not free black people. The 14th Amendment made everybody else fucking slaves. Read it. Look at the verbiage of the son of a bitch, and you will fucking know. If you don't understand a word or something in there, you think a word means one thing, look in Black's Law Dictionary, because I promise you it means something else.
Well, break it down.
All right. So, all right. Let me bring up the 14th Amendment, and I'm going to bring up Black's Law Dictionary too. Give me a minute. But, okay, because there's two 14th Amendments also. There's the 14th Amendment to the Constitution of the United States of America, and this that I'm going to read to you is the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. All right, 1868, U.S. Constitution. U.S. being the corporate name that you could look up in under Dun and Bradstreet and see who that belongs to. The U.S. A corporate entity that has 100 shares. All right, let's read it as it's written. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, as jurisdiction, are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. Okay, so citizens of the United States, citizen, Black's Law Dictionary, slave. All right. And okay, are citizens of the United States. Okay, the United States, the corporate entity, slaves of the corporate entity, United States, and of the state wherein they reside. Okay, what state do they reside in? That doesn't mean the state of Texas. Okay, that doesn't mean the state of California. That means the state of indentureship. Okay, or their state of freedom, or their state of slavery, their state of ignorance, their state of incompetence. Okay. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens in the United States. Okay, now they're talking about the state of Texas, state of California, state of Washington. Okay,
the 14th Amendment is citizenship. I think you mean the 13th as far as the freedom of slaves.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the 13th Amendment freed black people, and the 14th Amendment made everybody slaves. My bad.
Are citizens.
Yes, because it made everybody citizens or slaves. So by virtue of the 13th Amendment, black people were free, and so everybody was free up until the 14th Amendment was created, which was 1866, okay, and then ratified in 1868, which created slaves of citizens. Does that make sense? Section 2, representatives shall be apportioned among the several states according to their respective numbers, counting the whole number of persons in each state. excluding Indians, not taxed. So everybody else is taxed. Everybody but Indians, whether it be Native Americans or I don't know. I don't think that anybody that owns a 7-Eleven is taxed either, because them motherfuckers wear a lot of gold. Fucking so look, counting the whole number of persons, but when the right to vote at any election for the choice of electors for president and vice president of the United States, representatives in Congress, the executive and judicial officers of a state, or the members of the legislature thereof, is denied to any of the male inhabitants of such state, being 21 years of age and citizens of the United States, or in any way abridged, except for participation in rebellion or other crime, the basis of representation therein shall be reduced in a proportion which the number of such male citizens shall bear to the whole number of male citizens 21 years of age in such state. So, this created the Electoral College, right? Well, it didn't create the Electoral College. It set up the dichotomy for creating the Electoral College. And so the officers are the only ones acting in the public, right? And so your straw man, so a private citizen can't act in the public. All right. Straw man is your public entity. Straw man can't exist in a private. All right. So through your straw man, you're able to take advantage of things that your nation offers to its citizens, or the straw men, which it steals from the private, which is you, me, just you and me, maybe haven't claimed our superior title, saying, hey, I'm alive, not some dead motherfucker, not some damn corporate entity. Yeah, so there's that. Moving forward. So no person shall be a senator or representative in Congress, elector of president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress, or as an officer of the United States, or as a member of any state legislature, or as an executive or judicial officer of any state, to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disabilities. So basically, it takes your First Amendment right, which is your right to assemble, which is your right of your right to free speech, which is your right to protest. Okay, peacefully protest. Well, they added peacefully protest. They added peacefully on the front of that, because it now makes it a crime to disassemble and dismantle the government, to either put up a new government or do away with it completely, which inherently is supposed to be the right of all of we the people, right? Because we the people, government is set up by the people. It talks about it right there in the Declaration of Independence and the preamble. But then, by virtue of amending the Constitution, they take that away from you to make you a slave or a citizen of a corporate entity. All right. Look, the United States of America, the capital of the United States of America is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We know this, right? You and me was taught that in history. We was probably the last sub bitches to learn that in fucking history class. Washington, D.C. is
And give me 1 second. I'm listening. Let me take this call real quick.
All right, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm taking the call real quick. Go ahead.
Anyways, for the rest of y'all. Oh, okay, bet. All right, for the rest of y'all. So Washington DC is 50 square miles. 50 square miles. It's been etched out of Maryland, West Virginia, Virginia. Okay. It's the capital of nothing. It is the seat, the corporate seat of the corporation known as the U.S. or the United States. Every time they go bankrupt, they just open back up the next day under a different name. U.S.A. U.S. Or U.S. U.S. United States. But the U.S. of A. But there is no corporate entity that's ever been opened up under the United States of America because that's a geographical landmass. It's not a corporation. So look, everything is you've been defrauded. I don't know. Did we talk about? I don't remember if we talked about the last time that we had a podcast. Did we talk about how we didn't really win World War II?
No, we didn't.
We had to provide the League of Nations, which is all right. So you'll learn in history class that the United States won World War II, right? No, we didn't. So how the fuck did we win World War II? All right. There was the United States and there was the Allies. All right. The Allies joined together to form what they called the League of Nations. All right. The League of Nations became the UN. All right. Germany did not surrender to the United States. Germany surrendered to the League of Nations. Japan surrendered to the United States. Okay. To Eisenhower.
MacArthur. General MacArthur.
Douglas MacArthur. That's right. So Japan surrendered to General Douglas MacArthur. Germany didn't surrender to the United States, didn't surrender to any general. They surrendered to the League of Nations. So what then? Now, without the United States, as we were the only country that was not a part of the League of Nations, but was, or the Axis powers, but was still part of the World War. The League of Nations, well, they were too powerful. That's everybody, right? And they said, well, if you want to effectively end the war, then you need to join the League of Nations. And well, do we have to? I mean, they already surrendered. Well, yeah, unless you want the war to keep going, and then I guess we'll continue. Or Germany is at leisure to be at war with you, as they've surrendered to us. We're gonna leave. We're gonna take off, and y'all can fight it out and duke it out amongst yourselves until everybody's dead. Just going ahead and blow up Germany. As a matter of fact, why don't y'all make a third one? One y'all dropped on Hiroshima, one you dropped on Nagasaki. You better make up another one and drop that on Germany. Oh, but wait a minute. If you drop it on Germany, you're also gonna you're gonna wipe out Poland. You're gonna wipe out Austria. You're gonna wipe out all these other countries that did nothing to you. So what's it gonna be? Well, I guess we'll join the League of Nations. Okay, well, fantastic. You want to join the League of Nations? That comes with a price, though. You see, if you want to be part of us, you got to pay your due diligence. Okay. Well, what would that be? Okay, so that money or that gold that y'all have over there at Fort Knox, Kentucky, y'all need to transfer ownership of that to us forthwith. Also, let's talk about land, because they ain't making no more of it. We want all of Manhattan Island and then a 50-mile swath of land on y'all southern border. So from California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas, all the way the southern border of Mexico, a 50-mile swath of land, and your allegiance to the United Nations, come hell or high water. Here's our conditional acceptance. Here's our contract. Sign it, and let's be done with this. And they said, okay. And that was the end of World War II. But we didn't win it. We gave all of Manhattan Island to the UN. That's why the UN can have their headquarters.
Headquarters, right.
In Manhattan. Okay, because look, by virtue of the Constitution, if anybody looks at it or anybody reads it, okay, no foreign entity shall be able to operate with impunity on American soil, be headquartered on American soil, or work within the government, the United States government. Okay, so that's why the UN is headquartered on Manhattan Island, because they own all of Manhattan Island. That ain't New York. All right. A 50-mile swath on the, people say, oh, bullshit, we got fucking checkpoints. Do we really? Because when I go to Mexico, if I'm driving from Uvalde, Texas down to Ciudad Acuña, all right, I go down there. When I get to the 50-mile point prior to going to hitting Mexico, 50 miles on the money, on the left-hand side of me as I'm driving south, I see all of these Federal Border Patrol agents. Okay, then when I get south, I get down there and I run into La Policia or the federales that are set up there at the Mexican border and say, what's your business in Mexico? And I said, well, I'm just going down here to do a little shopping. I might take in a bullfight or two. Okay, please go through. And so then I go on through, and I go down there, and I don't do any shopping or take in a bullfight or two. I get drunk as fucking I can get. And then if I get in a boxing match with somebody, I'm a haul ass. Okay, when you come back north across the day of checkpoint, you don't run into Border Patrol agents. You run into Mexican federales. All right. It's not until you get 50 miles within the United States that you hit that 50-mile checkpoint. And that's when you run into your Border Patrol officers, because that's the actual border of the United States. 50 miles from there to Mexico belongs to United Nations. Tell me I'm fucking lying. I'll fucking fight me on that. Fight me on it. Anybody that's ever been from California down to Mexico, Arizona, New Mexico to Mexico, or whatever, fucking knows that's a fucking fact of life.
Anybody want to debate them on it? Any debaters?
Debate me. Tell me I'm wrong.
But no, but going to why is that? So you're saying it's a UN border?
Yes, you've got, okay, so along the southern border, you've got, say, okay, you've got Mexico, and then you've got 50 miles that belongs to the UN, north of Mexico, and then north of the 50 miles that belong to United Nations. Say it again, Jeffrey. So then north of that 50-mile swath of land, now that's the United States of America, not of America, but United States, the corporate entity. That's where its jurisdiction begins, or where its so-called jurisdiction begins, because I promise you, the government only has jurisdiction if you grant them jurisdiction. Jeffrey, where you live in Texas? Do I got to type that?
No, he'll respond to it.
All right. Anyways, so like I said before, the government and all of its agents defined by Black's Law Dictionary as an actor. Beaumont. All right. Hey, what's up, Beaumont? Yes, sir. Right outside Houston, just to the east of Houston, going toward Orange. I'm down here in Stockdale, America, Stockdale, Texas. If you don't know where that is, it's because it's a geographical anomaly and it's an hour away from anything, um, uh, which is kind of how I like it. But yeah, I mean, they master the art of telling you a lie and the truth at the same time, and the fraud is so expansive that people don't even know they're involved in it, right? The fraud is propped up by uh by good people just doing their job, right? And so when you go into court and there's all this paperwork that has to be filed. There's a lady that's employed by the county, or man employed by the county, that files SF, we'll just say State Form 594. And that's all she does all day. She puts her stamp on it and she files State Form 594. She don't know why she does that. She just knows that she does that. And she's going to do it to the best of her ability. And she's going to stamp and she's going to file State Form 594, as many of them as she can every single day. And if she gets done early, she could probably go on home. She doesn't know she's part and parcel to this cabal that's stealing people's wealth, which is not really wealth anything, because there's no such thing as money unless you're talking about gold or silver or land, right? But she's stealing the debt notes. She's stealing debt from the citizen slaves to give to the United States or to the county of Bear or whatever, the county of Wilson, to, if they've got debt notes, they can request more debt. They can request an increase in their budget by virtue of the CAFR account. All right. And it doesn't mean it doesn't seem to make any sense at first. Okay. How can somebody say, okay, I need your debt note so that I can request more debt? So if they have this note of debt, basically, so if there's $1 worth of debt that they procure from an individual, they say, hey, we've got this debt note, it's $1. So we can request another $1 worth of credit. All right. And they'll say, okay, well, if you've got that debt note, then obviously you can, with that debt note, that note of debt, they can apply for another $1 of credit. And that debt note is backed by the faith and trust of the people, of the citizens of the United States, or the straw men of the United States. When you look at the national debt, okay, so who owns the debt? That's the Federal Reserve Bank. We know that, right? All right. So if they've got, if they have a Federal Reserve debt note, they can apply for that much credit based upon how much they have in value of debt notes. Okay, look at this monopoly. The game of monopoly money, right? You got all this monopoly money. That's all debt to the bank. All right. But if you have $700 in monopoly money, you can request a loan from the bank to buy another piece of property or to put a house or whatever in as much notes as you have and as much dollars as you have in monopoly money. Monopoly money ain't worth fuck all, right? But it'll sure enough freaking buy you a piece of property in the game.
Right, on the board.
You can request that loan from the bank. The monopoly bank that don't have nothing to give you. There's only value to the bank within that game. I sure like
that's a cold
by the way. They're pretty good.
Oh, that's one of them. I forgot what they call them damn things. The vape. You got a vape. Hey, but what's this bar guild?
Yeah,
so into this. So into the title. So the bar guilds.
Yeah, let's talk about the bar guild. So the bar, the British Accredited Regency, that is a that's an association, a corporate entity that is owned by Great Britain, okay, or the United Kingdom, okay. By the way, the United Kingdom owns 10 shares of the 100 shares of the United States corporate entity. We know they own 10 shares. We know that the Queen herself owns 5 shares. We know that the Federal Reserve owns 5 shares, and we don't know who owns the rest of it. So the Bar Guild is owned by the United Kingdom, a corporate entity or association owned by the United Kingdom. In order to practice law anywhere in the world, you have to be a member of the Bar Association or any DBAs doing business as the Texas Bar Guild, the Idaho Bar Guild, the California, the California Bar Association. They call it the association because it's voluntary. You don't have to join the bar, but if you want to practice law in the United States, you have to be a member of the Bar Association, right? In any given state. All right. So, anytime you hire legal representation, that means you hire somebody to represent what happened or your side of what happened on your behalf. That's all they do. The outcome has already been determined. All right. It's a play. It's a plot. Somehow you got hoodwinked and are involved in this. Well, you did get hoodwinked, but you contracted to be a part of this by virtue of getting a driver's license and signing it, by virtue of signing a voter's registration card, by virtue of obtaining a library card, or whatever, or maybe just because your parents signed on your behalf to enter you into public school. Okay, all of this, it's crazy what I've covered and how underlying everything is. Everything is also, so all of this, you go way back and it's set up by the Vatican, Sestate Act of of 1666. You go back before that, okay? Back when a proclamation of anybody in power, or they did have power, they decided that they had power and convinced a bunch of other people that they were subservient to them. Well, you could simply proclaim things and that be it. King George the First proclaimed that that he owned Europe and parts of Eurasia. And so now all of a sudden that sets up a trust. The proclamation by King George I stating that he owned all Europe and, all the land masses, all the discovered land, or however he worded it, I don't really know. But that meant that the crown owned all of that part of the world. There was only one entity at the time that was of higher standing than the king, and that was the papacy, right? The Vatican, the Catholic Church. The Pope, upon King George saying that that all of this belonged to him, the Pope stood up and said, the entire world belongs to me. And so it is. And so you've got the Roman Catholic Church, which is why all of our laws are Roman common law. Yes, darling. Oh, thank you, honey. That's my sweetheart. She brought me some grapes.
No, I'm still here, bro. I'm just on the line. I'm still here.
Yes, sir. So, that's why all of our laws are based upon Roman common law. And when common law is considered to be contract law, or maritime law, or commercial law, when commercial law is considered to be common law, then all law is so anything heard in courts is going to be law of commerce. So if any individual, and it states in the USC and the UCC, as well as Black's Law Dictionary, when you look up the word incompetent could mean insane, could mean any individual under the age of 8, not 18, of 8. So by the time you're 8 years old, you ought to be able to handle all your own affairs. All right? Or a minor. That means somebody under the age of 8, or somebody who has not claimed their superior titles, or any individual that hires representation to hires an attorney, hires legal representation to represent them concerning their own affairs. That's somebody who's incompetent. Anybody considered incompetent or anybody found to be incompetent already loses their court case. So if you want to sit there and wonder, well, how in the hell does my county have a 99.8% conviction record? That's why. only 0.2 people either something happens and they sneak by it, or they have the ability to handle their own affairs and they go before the court and they put them on fucking blast and the court dismisses the case. That's why. You step into a courtroom with a lawyer, you're already considered incompetent. You've already lost the case. A man without competence cannot be considered honorable. And the first person to go into dishonor loses the case. You stepped in a courtroom with a freaking lawyer, you've already dishonored yourself and you lose. Any questions? Any comments? Anybody want to say, fuck you, Tex? My uncle's a judge.
No, hold on, Tex. I'm almost off this call. Hold on.
All right. I'm talking to y'all out there that was signing in. Ace Money. Hey, what's happening? Salute Money. Jeffrey, got any questions, comments? Who? They Rowan. He from Beaumont. What? Sorry. Okay, so hey, what's up? Not too much. Man, we've been discussing the Bar Guild. We've been discussing the Social Security number, the straw man. We touched on English styles concerning marks, squiggles, and various graffiti used to change contracts that nobody teaches you in school. We touched upon the 14th Amendment, 13th Amendment, freed the slaves, 14th Amendment made everybody slaves. Let's see, what else? Uh-oh.
All right, I'm back.
All right, Reggie.
Salute H Money, anyway. Brother H Money over here.
So let me tell you one way to go ahead, Rick.
No, I was reading Jeffrey. He said he had a comment, but he said he was forgot about it. I thought he had a question. When you were asking anybody got questions.
All right. So there's a way without filing all your UCCs, going through everything, getting the birth or the certificate of live birth, getting that notarized, getting that apostilled. You would want to move if Texas became sovereign. So I hear about these sovereign citizens all the time. Now, look, you can't be sovereign and a citizen. We've already discussed how Black's Law Dictionary defines a citizen as a slave. You can't. Who the fuck is a sovereign slave? There ain't no such thing.
Right.
Somebody goes into court to represent themselves. All right. Now, we've discussed if you go into court to represent yourself, okay, you're not immediately determined to be incompetent. But if you go into court and say, I'm a sovereign citizen, fucking, you're fucking more goddamn retarded than the son bitch that hired the attorney.
You see, because this is, man, it's funny you bring that up. Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because we were talking about this yesterday. We were having, when I was having a live, and we're bringing up about, we had one of the brothers who was kind of moving towards the sovereign citizenship. Long time ago, I told him, man, that shit is some go nowhere type shit. And I'll be like, a lot of people deal with when they try to speak about leaving the country and they want to go over to set up community in another country. And I'm like, usually when you go over there, you're gonna have someone who wants to set to where you have to where people just set slave society anyway. Someone wants to be in charge. Someone wants to master over other people and then place them in these hierarchies. And now, in order to develop new societies, someone has to preside over everyone. And then these people start to preside with oppressive type force. Almost situations you'll get like a Jonestown type shit. And this is the type of thing, like a lot of that shit that people go into, you have people forcing upon teachings on people. So you're really not free. And then you have this other dude, and a lot of them thought they can practice into where laws here don't pertain to them. Like you got the dude who did the he's in trial right now. I don't know if you've seen this cat. He's up there representing himself in court, but he's in that sovereign citizen belief where he ran those people over in the parade. Derek Brooks, have you seen that crazy shit? Yeah, last night.
Guy that run over the people in the parade.
Yeah, you don't see. You ain't seen his court trial?
That run over. No, I ain't seen it. But was it the guy that run over all the gay people in the gay pride parade?
No, not that one. This was one in Wisconsin for Christmas. No, this will do at the Christmas parade. Man, he ran over a shitload of people. And he ended up killing like 6 of them. But he's in court on like he has this ideal that the American laws don't pertain to him type shit. But he's in court on some real nutcase type shit, like acting crazy, man. The judge, he in there intimidating the judges, going off. I'm gonna clip together a video of all the crazy shit this motherfucker been on. It's some of the craziest shit, but it's like everybody who preaches of setting up new societies. Usually, you have people that's gonna oppress over people. I think people should be able to have a little bit of free will on what they think. It should be laws that govern shit. I believe in having laws that govern shit. But anytime people set up new societies, you always see someone trying to be oppressive over them, trying to be the leader. And that leader is usually oppressive type person, right. Oppressive type personality, who may charm you and shit, try to fool you into that you're not enslaved by them.
Right. So, first of all, you can't be sovereign and be a citizen. If you're a citizen, according to Black's Law Dictionary, because that's what the UCC, the Universal Commercial Code, all right, which governs the entire globe. If everybody thought, oh, there's no such thing as a one world government, if you're governed by the UCC the world over, yes, you're already part of a one world government. Okay, the United States of America is just a separate city-state from Rwanda, Africa. Okay, that's it. We're all governed by the UCC. The pinnacle of the UCC, they're trying to make it the World Health Organization. Yes, and if you want to know who the World Health Organization is under, it's the Roman Catholic Church and the Vatican. Yes. You don't believe me? Look the shit up or fucking fight me. That's a fact. Don't believe anything I say and fucking look it up. All right?
We setting up fights. Y'all don't believe that shit.
Yeah. Hey, Reggie, I need you to get that shit licensed through the fucking boxing commission. That way fucking that way everything's legal.
Yes, indeed. Make some money, charge these motherfuckers.
So check it out. You can't be sovereign and a citizen. You could be sovereign or you could be a citizen. All right. Now, I believe in complete freedom. I mean, inherently, I don't hurt you or cause you any detriment or your family anything bad. Then we're good. If I do that to you, I expect due recourse and for you to shoot me in the fucking face, right? And so somebody else, this guy over here, will say, this old Lloyd over here, old Lloyd is of the understanding that if he does me some kind of uh, discredit or he harms me or my family, he expects to be shot in the face. I expect the same from him. All right. What other laws do you really need? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's the golden rule. That's the only fucking law you need.
Bingo.
In other words,
bingo.
In other words, the only way to get out of subservience is for the majority, which is everybody besides somebody hold a political office or a political faction or a government at large, to get together and realize that they've been slaves on a fucking tax farm and that's it. You know, so the people in the United Kingdom are born knowing that they're servants. They're a servant of the crown, right? People in the United States are born slaves or servants under the belief that they're free for all their life. So check it out. Let me tell you what else Great Britain, the United Kingdom, holds. All of Canada. Well, when you think Canada, you think French Canada, right? People speak French up there. You know, you got the cowboys over there in Saskatchewan. All right. They dress a little funny and they talk a little different, but they, they're all right. If you go hunting and you want to go shoot a bear or moose or mule deer or elk or whatever over in Canada, you have to get a license. Prior to obtaining a license, you have to pay the Queen's fee. The Queen's fee? Well, what the hell is that? Well, that's the Queen's deer. You have to pay the Queen's fee so that you can shoot her deer and eat it. Great Britain owns all of Canada. Great Britain owns the good majority of the United States. Great Britain owns South Africa. Great Britain owns the United Kingdom, is all of Europe. You want to know why why Europe went from pounds and Deutschmarks and francs and whatever to the euro? That's because Great Britain and their centralized bank wanted to standardize the monetary system. It was too hard for them to cover francs and Deutschmarks, crowns, pounds, so on and so forth. So they went to the euro. So that was owned by the United Kingdom. But then there was Great Britain that want to exit the European Union. United Kingdom didn't give a fuck if they did that. United Kingdom is fucking Britain. Oh, yeah, sure. The whole Brexit or whatever stupid shit they called it. Okay, yeah, y'all can vote on that. Great Britain leaves the European Union, except that they're owned by the United Kingdom, which is the European Union. Fucking these fucking idiots fucking was just goddamn making work for themselves to go to fucking polls and cast a vote. Nobody give a fuck. It didn't matter.
You see what's happening to the economy? You see that lady only lasted 6 weeks.
Oh, no, what's the deal with that? I don't have TV.
Oh man, the lady who replaced what's his name? What's his name? Boris Johnson or some shit, where he was running into a bit of his
Mhm.
controversies and end up being voted out. So they bring the lady in there who's coming in, who was to come in with new economic principles or set new kind of policies for the country. But really, it's kind of the country falling out with the pandemic and all this other decline in the global economy and stuff. But she had a plan where she was planning to cut taxes for the wealthy, said a number of other things. She ended up firing the dude who was like the head of treasury or some shit out there. End up firing him, and then that's when all the turmoil began to fall out with her, that she wasn't going to be able to live up to any of the things she promised to people. And within 6 weeks, she was resigning from the job. But Britain has had its issues since leaving the union. Once they voted out leaving the union, it created a whole bit of instability in their economy, and I think it's made things much tougher for them. And I think their best bet was to stick in there and set kind of set a one standard on trade currency and stuff. So it offset things, and they haven't seen improvements since leaving that shit.
Well, so what they're doing is the powers that be are creating that instability, the economic instability. We're seeing it now. So here's the deal. And Jeffrey, I'm gonna get to you in just a second with the one world currency. So in the world of commerce, you can be two things. You can either be a debtor, somebody owes a debt, or you can be a creditor, somebody who the debt is owed to. Okay. A debtor is also considered incompetent within uh, any type of justice system. What creates a debtor, and how does the government keep track of debtors? Okay, you want to know. So you and I have talked about. I don't know if we talked about on the show with the major expanse in the welfare system under LBJ, right after JFK was assassinated.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so the welfare state, or the state of requiring assistance from the government. Um, so there was the massive expanse of the welfare system by Lyndon B. Johnson, and that was one of the first things he did uh, right after he went into Vietnam, which is something JFK didn't want anything to do with. Um, and we could talk all about that later on too. But LBJ expanded the welfare system, and the reporters, the economists at the time, uh, everybody said that that was so expensive that there's no way that could be uh, that that could stand for any length of time. It was going to break the United States. Of course, LBJ understood what the economists and the reporters didn't understand. Okay, that every 7 years, the United States goes bankrupt, opens up under a different name. You know, just like if you had Reggie's Pizza and uh, you went bankrupt, but the next day a bunch of people showed up at dinner time at 12 o'clock noon while you're grabbing furniture and stuff and taking it out the back door. People showing up at the front door to get pizza, but you open the front door, you let them come in and get pizza, and now you just open up under Reggie Owens Pizza, right? That's the same thing the United States does. So LBJ knew that. The reporters and the economists didn't know that. LBJ also understood how the United States operates off of debt by virtue of the Federal Reserve notes and the Cesta K Trust. What he wanted to do was he wanted to create a voter base for the Democrats, a Democratic voter base. And I'm gonna throw the quote out there that Fricky, this is a fact as well, Fricky. You don't have to believe me; you could look it up. I hope I don't become unpopular over this, but when the reporter said that there's no way to maintain this, why did you expand the welfare system? His response was, and I quote, "I'll have those niggers voting Democrat for the next 200 years." Yes, and that's a fact. All right, you look that shit up. All right.
Wait, who said this?
If you
Wait, who said that?
Lyndon B. Johnson.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Lyndon B. Johnson. So here's the deal: when you apply, or your straw man applies for assistance from the government, you become a debtor. All right. With the massive expanse of the welfare system, especially, now according to LBJ and his bunch was, to help out and uplift, the black families, especially inner city and so on and so forth. But has the government and government assistance actually lifted anybody out of poverty ever, or has it simply kept them there? And expanding the welfare system expanded the ghettos and expanded by necessity the inner city youth that are in that situation. All right. And so systematically it becomes like when we were talking about building wealth, building generational wealth, it created the dichotomy for having generational welfare recipients. Am I right?
Yeah, but it's not even just inner city. You still got that shit that plagues rural areas as well. You got a lot of the system played the same way for poor whites in America as well.
I agree. So when somebody signs their form and their straw man requests assistance for their live persona from the government, that has created a debtor. Anybody that requires assistance is automatically considered a pauper, becomes a debtor, and therefore incompetent. So when we're talking about from the educational system, the pipeline straight to the
prison.
The prison.
Yeah, you're talking about school to prison pipeline. Yeah.
Okay. So public education to prison. That's what it does. Now, before I knew any of this, I was incompetent. I hired an attorney to represent me on a case where some son of a bitch in fucking Walmart dipshit employee tried to hit me with a fucking wrench and I broke his goddamn hip. All right. I went to court. Fuck it. There's no way I could be found fucking guilty because all the nope, I was guilty. I was incompetent because I hired representation. And that's how it went down. But I didn't see, I didn't go to jail. Why did I not go to jail? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I was a consultant in the oil field. Because I could pay their fines and their fees, and I could give them U.S. debt notes so that they could request more credit within that county. I didn't know that shit at the time. I just thought, but there was more to it than that. I mean, there was a crooked district attorney who was in bed with Walmart, all right, that had to repay her fucking her corporate donors. And there was all kinds of shit. But I'm not gonna get into this fucking shit, fucking cry victim. I'm just saying I didn't fucking know no better. And so as soon as I stepped in the courtroom with an attorney, I was incompetent. And I was incompetent. I didn't fucking know no better. All the tools were in place then for me to understand this that there is now that I do understand it, right? But I hadn't taken this time to look at it that way. All I thought fucking, I didn't really do all, this is open and shut case self-defense. Fuck it. They just, we're just going through the motions here. I'm gonna have to pay a little fucking a court fee, fucking $95 court fee, and fucking I'll be out the door. Nope, that ain't how it happened. All right. So another thing, being that the papacy, the Pope, during King George I, when he proudly proclaimed that the entire world belonged to him and the Vatican and the Roman Catholic Church. With that being said, everything that is done kind of in a biblical manner. The rule of three. Okay, you've got 3 days to rescind your signature. You have 3 days. The government can only hold you 72 hours or 3 days within the jail without turning you loose. Okay, if you decide to not sign something that they present you with, like a traffic ticket, they're gonna scoop you up. They're gonna throw you in jail. They're gonna put you there, but they can't keep you over 72 hours. Or you'll go before a magistrate. Now, are you gonna sign this doggone ticket, or what are you gonna? No, I don't think I am. But whether you could just sit in that doggone cell, you can think about what you've done. Okay. Or you could learn English styles, and you could and you can when you're presented with the contract by the state by virtue of the police officer, you can learn English styles. You could change up the contract. You could sign it. You could represent it to them. He takes it. He gives it to the doggone to the district attorney or whoever he gives it to, or the district attorney's agent. All right. Whoever's acting as the district attorney, which is probably somebody sitting behind a desk somewhere, freaking they sweaty, they got bifocals. The motherfuckers hate their life, but all they do is they put a stamp on it. Boom. Guess what? That's as good as the district attorney's signature. They have accepted your fucking the contract. Involved in this shit. Fucking, if you used English styles, you've taken your name off that sumbitch. Another thing you could do, you could copyright your name, your all caps name, all of its derivatives. So I'm gonna say Drake Gafford, Drake A. Gafford, Drake Allen Gafford, Gafford, Drake A. Gafford, Drake Allen. And then my real name is a live man, capital D, lowercase, capital A, lowercase, capital G, lowercase, all that, okay? And so that way, when I'm presented with a ticket by said officer that wanted to pull me over because I was playing NWA too fucking loud while I rolled by his goddamn traffic stop, all right? Fucking, he wants to give me a citation for disturbing the peace. I'm going to say, hey, just so you know, I have not given you the authority to utilize my copyrighted name. That carries with it a penalty of $500,000. So either you could turn me loose right now, or we could go on ahead with this. And then he's going to give you the citation. You're going to go on ahead and change it up by virtue of English style, so you don't have to go to court. You're going to take the citation that he's given you, the copy of citation that he's given you, and you're going to go over to the county recorder's office and say, hey, I need to talk to the district clerk. I also need to talk to the district attorney and the county judge here. Okay. Well, what for? Well, I wanted everybody to be aware, and I want you to witness that I'm turning in this affidavit, this sworn affidavit, stating that this officer or and or the county that he works for and or the municipality he works for, as well as the district attorney and so on and so forth, because I've already created a verbal contract with that officer that y'all don't have the authority to utilize my copyrighted name and utilizing my copyrighted name without me giving you the authority to do so comes with a fine of $500,000. Here's my conditional acceptance of $500,000. This doesn't even need to go through court. This is USC. This is UCC. So I guess I'll take that in a cashier's check if you don't mind. You hit them in the fucking pocketbook. These motherfuckers, like I said, it's propped up by a bunch of good people doing what they've been told to do, not knowing that what they're doing is propping up the whole fucking shittery.
Yes, sir. But no, but this shit is
Man,
crazy,
you look
man.
like you're watching boxing, man.
No, I'm not listening to it. My phone is over here. Like I said, I always keep I'm looking down at the comments and reading, but I can't just look straight at the dang screen. So, yeah, I don't look straight at the screen. No, because you see my earpiece.
All right.
Yeah. I always tell you. That's why I'll be telling you. Sometimes it's best to. This is why I always tell people, like, when they do these live streams, rather than just doing it without checking it, because sometimes if you just on the StreamYard and you ain't got something to see YouTube, I will always do this. So I'll have it in my earpiece to where I'm listening to it. Because when I do lives, I always got an earpiece in my ear. Or I'll also put it on the TV. So sometimes I don't look at my phone. So say I'll get a call in or somebody will text me. So rather than having to get away from it, I can just look at the TV or something, because I have a TV in here, to make sure the stream is good. Because you'll get to where if your connection is going bad and stuff, or if you're lagging and stuff, unless somebody in the comments tell you like, oh, we can't hear you or this and that, you'll never know, and you just be on there talking. You'll just be on there talking without knowing that your stream may have be chopping up. Or sometimes sometimes I'll play videos in the videos I do boxing with. If I'm showing the fight, that fight can get a flag, so they'll end up YouTube will end up freeze. They'll suspend the live stream. So I can be on here talking how we talking, and I know that YouTube took it down and shit. So that's why I always gotta hear people. Yeah.
All right. So, hey, MMA 365, man. I really ain't a smart motherfucker. I'm getting smarter, but all of this is a matter of public record. Y'all look that shit up. Y'all make the UCC and the USC y'all's friend, man. I hate to see anybody's fucking wealth getting stole by the Justice Department, because that's what it is. Look, I also wanted to share with, so going back to the papacy. So if you read the Bible, you'll see all these words in there, all right? That whether you're a believer of God or whatever, I'm not even going to start on that. But look, you need to obtain even just a small amount of knowledge concerning Greek, Hebrew, and every words, habeas corpus, parens patriae, all of that is what's being used in your in the terminology of the courts. That's why in your public schools they don't offer courses in Greek, Hebrew, or Aramaic. Why? Because they don't want you to know. All right. They want to keep you incompetent. All right. Black's Law Dictionary. There's 12 editions. Each edition has more judicial terminology. Terminology is going to be used in courts. And one thing does, just because it says, you know, they use the term agent. What does agent mean? Oh, well, we think of an FBI agent. Oh, by the way, the FBI doesn't even fucking exist. Here's something else I learned. The FBI does not exist. The FBI only has authority over people because they believe they do. The FBI does not have a fucking congressional charter. FBI agent steps up to you and says, fucking, hey, we want to arrest your ass, all of them. Fucking the ATF, the FBI, all that shit. Okay. They say, we're going to arrest you because you got a sawed-off shotgun. Well, could you please provide me with your congressional charter, please? Fuck that. They're going to arrest your ass anyways. And when you finally go to court, even though it's going to be hard to do because of the NDAA and the Patriot Act, fucking, where they can indefinitely hold any United States citizen, okay, not a U.S. national or a U.S. state national or an American national, all right? This is something you declare by virtue of your UCC 1. But any United States citizen indefinitely for any reason, okay? So if you ever get your day in court for having a sawed-off shotgun, you go into court, you say, yo, agent so-and-so, okay, fucking agent, as defined by Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, is actor. He is only acting. He doesn't fucking exist. He's fucking putting on a show, okay? The some bitch might as well be fucking putting on a goddamn drag queen show over there at the electric company in fucking goddamn San Antonio because fucking they both have the same amount of authority. Agent so-and-so, Agent Deagle Nuts over here, arrested me for having a sawed-off shotgun. Fucking, as far as him, and as a matter of fact, the agency at large, could I please obtain a copy of the congressional charter that made the ATF or the FBI or whatever that legitimizes their agency? Oh, well, we don't have that. Okay, well, fucking guess what? A fucking goddamn executive order is not law. And if I'm in a court of law, I'm not bound by any fucking dipshit agency that doesn't really exist. So you all want to dismiss this, or you want me to write into the local newspaper and get fucking Vice News out here to the jailhouse where I can sit around in my oranges and tell them all this? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a sawed-off shotgun. At least that's what I would tell them anyways, if I did. Fucking, what the fuck is this? I think we got hacked by some fucking dipshit.
No. That's the other thing you deal with, which people say that's when you made it. But no, that's the on the what you call. So if you had your YouTube on StreamYard, I don't know if you can remove it. I never tried to remove it, but there's a way you can delete that. You can delete and flag them, but usually you got to go in with your YouTube as you watch your channel. That's why you always have these other devices up or have another link. So when you see stuff like that, until you start giving people wrenches, you get people with wrenches that can delete those type of people's comments. So it's a like a bot or some shit. People put out these bots that go in there, try to advertise. Never click on those links though. But you have to.
Is that a bot or is that?
It's like a bot,
or is that like a fucking Nigerian scammer sitting in a fucking filthy cubicle in Patka, India somewhere, fucking goddamn trying to fuck us off?
No, it's some shit take you to. I never clicked on it, but I think it may take you to like a sex website or a website that can get hacked. So that's why when you see people with the blue wrenches, if you like watch YouTube lives and stuff, you see people with live wrenches, but you have to wrench people up from your YouTube. You have to open a YouTube tab, and from your YouTube, you'll end up adding wrenches to people. Because on my end, I don't see it, but I see it on the StreamYard comments. For some reason, I don't see it.
Okay. Well, any old damn ways. So the FBI doesn't really fucking exist. The ATF doesn't exist. All those alphabet soup agencies, they don't fucking exist. The only ones that do exist is the fucking CIA, as they have the Secret Service, and that has obtained a congressional charter to even exist. None of the other ones have. They've all been created by executive order. That includes or act. Okay, executive order and acts. Acts expire after fucking 10 years, unless they're re-signed into. They've been reauthorized and re-signed. That includes the NSA, the DHS, the whatever, all that other fucking bullshit that fuck with you at the airport. So language with it is something you need to understand. Black's Law Dictionary, agent is defined as an actor. Let me look up some more terminology. I've got Black's Law Dictionary right here on my phone. Something that would say, you would think is something fuck off.
What you're trying to do?
I'm trying to open Black's Law Dictionary. It won't let me open it right now.
Yeah, are you opening it from a? That's the other thing I want to look. This is the other thing I want to show you how to do. So you pulling it up on your computer, right?
No, I'm pulling it up on my phone.
On the phone, damn. Because that way you can bring the phone in. Because I was gonna say from the what you call, you can display it on the screen. So whatever you want to show and pull up, you can have it displayed on the screen. That's why that present button you see on there. Present is where you can put so you want to present information you want to share with everyone, you can add that on the screen. So through the tab right there.
Oh, okay.
And then that way you can go through what you're trying to break down or what you're discussing if you have something you want to share with the people.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm gonna get ready to go.
Let me just go to the internet and
you hear me? I'm gonna get ready to go drop my kids off in a minute too.
All right.
You still, matter of fact, you should try to bring that. Is it a website? Is it a website you're bringing the Black's Law Dictionary up from?
The Black's Law Dictionary. I mean, it's an actual legal dictionary. It's the dictionary that is utilized by the American court system and well, everywhere really. Basically, the terminology was created, and then Black's Law Dictionary put it into writing to define it.
No, I'm saying, is there a website that you're pulling up?
Oh, yeah.
It's a website you pulling up for that?
You could Google Black's Law Dictionary and then look up a word or whatever. So here's one right here from Black's Law Dictionary. This is just something that I saved that particular page. So capacity. What does capacity mean? Well, when we think of capacity, we think of the fire marshal over in the club says that there's a capacity of 1,200 people, right? The amount of people
to occupy, right?
Okay. Definition and citation. So in legalese, capacity is the attribute of a person who can acquire new rights or transfer rights or assume duties according to the mere dictate of his own will. Legal capacity. Individual. create secure secure his superior titles just by simply saying, "Hey, I'm not a fucking corporate entity. I'm a live man." According to the mere dictates of his own will, as manifested in juristic acts without any restraint or hindrance arising from his status or legal condition. See ability, qualification, legal power or right. Applied in this sense to the attribute of persons, natural or artificial, being a straw man, okay, growing out of their status as a straw man to a live natural man, out of their status or juristic condition, okay, challenge the jurisdiction, which enables them to perform civil acts as capacity to hold lands, actually own land as opposed to having a 99-year lease by the county. Their capacity to devise meaning to create legal documents, which are known as instruments. Okay, when you look up instrument, that's legal documentation. That's not fucking a doctor's instrument, etc. This is Burgett v. Barrett, 25, Kansas, 530. Sergeant v. Burgett, 90, Georgia, Roman numeral 3, 22, SECOT. Okay, so there's legal statute behind this. You know, it's one of those things, you know, in legalese, in the courtroom, it's going to mean something different than what we have all been conditioned to understand what a word is. Jeffrey, quit calling yourself a citizen. You just, something else I haven't heard touched on, and maybe you have, is slaves learning and knowing their rights. Slaves ain't got no rights. Slaves ain't got no fucking rights. The only right, as a matter of fact, by virtue of the U.S. Constitution, the only right that you still have that has not been infringed upon is the right to contract. The right to fucking contract. And I mean, fucking, you better start creating your own goddamn instruments, writing your own shit, and fucking and slapping it down on these motherfuckers. Because in a law, in the world of commerce, in you know, maritime law or contract law, that's all you got. You can basically create your own rights by virtue of being able to contract. That's a fact. That's all I got. Fuck it. That's all I got. That's all I got today. I got a lot more shit, but that's all I got today.
Yes, sir. When we're gonna set up another one. You got to go on more often, man. I see the last one was 6 months ago.
Man, I'd like to, but hell, yo, I gotta ride these damn colts, and I had some more colts born out here and stuff, so I've been fucking with them all the time. And
man, you can do a live and show.
You know,
you should do a live and show people the damn horses. How old are they?
I could do that, I suppose. Well, I got everything. I got one out here that's 22 years old, and I got a well, he's 3 months old. I got a 3-month-old foal on the ground out here right now. So I got and all in between. And then I got customer horses, you know, I'm trying to ride them for people.
Yeah, man, you do it live and show people that shit. How much they go for if you're selling them?
I got a horse out here right now. I got her up for $30,000, and I got another horse out here that I probably wouldn't give $500 for, but somebody would.
Oh, you can get horses that for $500?
Yeah.
And how much was?
And then my roan mare out there, she's I got her up for $30,000.
Damn, 30,000. Damn.
But hey, she's only worth it. I mean, she's worth that to me. but really, she's only worth that to me if someone else is willing to pay it. So I don't know. She is priced not to sell, though. I do want to keep her.
Right, right. And how old is she?
She's 5 years old now. 6 maybe.
And how long would a horse
Coming
live
6.
for? How long would they live for?
No, well, when I was a kid, I was competing on one that was 42 years old, but that's the exception, not the rule. They usually live between 20 and 30 years old.
Oh damn! Oh, so they got some longevity to them. Shit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're gonna have to show us the horses one day, man. People would love to see that shit. You gotta do more of these streams, man.
All
You see
right, we'll
people
do
writing in
it.
the comments, they love you. And kind of, if you start doing them
I
in,
want to answer. Go ahead, Reg.
yeah, no, you say you want to answer Jeff's question. And then I'm gonna get ready to get out of here so I can, because I'm gonna go.
Okay.
One of my people's out here in Vegas, so I was gonna take my kids, but it's too fucking cold for them to go, so I'm gonna take them to their granny's house. I wanted to take them with me because they like going down there, but it's too fucking cold, too cold out here.
I hear you. So Jeffrey, one world currency. So it's already been set up that we're gonna go to the digital dollar. That was Executive Order 15954, I believe, but don't quote me on that. That was Joe Biden's executive order concerning a digital currency. Within 280 days, we should probably see a digital currency. With a digital currency, it's much easier to go to a one world currency. And yes, we'll be seeing that eventually if things continue to go down the same road they are. Let's see, how close do I think we are to an actual country-wide police state? you live in a police state. Fucking anybody who could be arrested for anything for any reason, it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Anybody who could be fined for anything for any reason, as long as somebody deems it to be so. Look, people do things out of convenience all the time. Doggone, it is not a law in Texas that you have to wear a helmet, but I'll be damned if a fucking cop can't. And people pay the fines because it's more convenient to go to the courthouse and say, hey, fucking this dipshit over here gave me a fucking citation for not wearing a helmet. Could you please show me the Texas state traffic code that states I have to wear a helmet or be fined, and they're going to throw it out of court. But they pay the fucking fine anyways. And burning money. Yeah, horses burn money. There's one way to become a millionaire if you're a billionaire, and that's to be involved with horses. So
Wait, and why you say that?
Man, so you have good days and bad days. Like tomorrow, I may sell that bear for $30,000, maybe. All right, but in the meanwhile, I still got to feed all these motherfuckers, and I still got vet bills. I got I got feed bills. I've got my time to go out there and take care of these some bitches. But I enjoy doing it, so I take the good with the bad. And if I break even, well, I've done pretty good. In the meanwhile, I'll go do side jobs.
Right. And then are they like they're loving animals though, right? Like the horse respond to you. You can get certain shit out of them, like with a dog and stuff.
Oh yeah, like a dog. You just gotta learn how to talk their language because they don't speak freaking human.
Right, man. You got to do a show, man. When you gonna come back on here? You got to, man, start doing it more often, so that way people can kind of get a time on you, and you that's how you'll grow your channel and audiences as well. You just got to come on here more often.
You know what would be good is on the sneak tip, if I could put it on the phone, and you'll have to teach me how to do all this shit. but put it on the phone and then go live when I'm in the courtroom, like we was talking about yesterday.
Right. And then you know what? Because with that, you got to reach that 1,000 sub point. But what you can do is this app I'm gonna tell you where you can just record. So say you record just live from your phone, you can make clips. Just record it from your phone, clip it into this app I'll tell you about, and then you just upload it. You can do uploads. Everything don't got to be live. You can do uploads.
All right.
But shit, let me get ready to get shit together, get them up out of here, and I'm gonna go link up with one of my people who's out here.
All right.
All right, bro. Great
well,
show.
You have
man.
a good day. I'm gonna cut out too. You
All
bet,
right, now,
Jeffrey. I'll add you. Y'all have a good afternoon, good evening. I'll see y'all soon, I reckon. Adios.